Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever really thought about how we fight disease on a global scale? I mean, really fight it? Today, we're cracking open the public health playbook. We're going to look at the core strategies that guide everything, from your local health campaigns all the way up to those huge, epic battles against pandemics.
And it all really boils down to this one single, incredibly ambitious question. This question, it drives some of the most complex work in all of modern science. I mean, think about it. It's a goal that needs massive coordination, tons of resources, and a plan that is absolutely crystal clear. So, okay, where do you even start?
All right, first things first in this playbook, you have to define the mission. When public health experts go up against a disease, they are definitely not just winging it. Nope. They actually choose from three very distinct levels of ambition, and each one has its own unique definition of what victory looks like.
The easiest way to think about it is like a ladder. Every single rung you climb represents a higher level of success. You start at the bottom by just, managing a disease's impact, but you keep climbing towards that ultimate final goal, getting rid of it completely from the entire planet.
So, that first step, the bottom rung of the ladder, is called control. Now, this is important. Control doesn't mean the disease is gone. Not at all. The pathogen is still out there, in the community, but we've basically fought it to a stalemate. The whole point is to keep its spread and its impact so low that it's not considered a major public health problem anymore. A classic example, all those ongoing efforts to control malaria in many parts of the world. Okay, now here's where we get to a really crucial distinction. You've got elimination and eradication. Elimination, that's a regional win. It's like knocking out polio in the Americas, which is a massive achievement, don't get me wrong, but the threat can still come back. Eradication, though, that's the end game. That's the final boss. It's a permanent, worldwide victory. The disease is gone, for good.
So let's just pause on that for a second. That monumental effort, that absolute global victory, eradication. How many times in all of human history have we actually pulled that off? How many human diseases have we truly eradicated?
Just once. That's it. One time. So far, smallpox is the only human disease that we have managed to completely and totally wipe off the face of the earth. It's an absolutely staggering achievement, for sure, but it's also a pretty sobering reminder of just how difficult this task really is.
And that really gets to the heart of the challenge, right? I mean, as it says here, eradication is an all or none process. There is absolutely no middle ground. You can't be mostly eradicated. It is a true all or nothing mission. It means every single last case has to be found and snuffed out, globally.
So that begs the question, how in the world do you even attempt an all-or-nothing mission like that? Well, like any good strategy, it all starts with intelligence. You can't fight what you can't see, right? And in the world of public health, that intelligence-gathering operation, we can think of it as the watchtower.
Okay, so you'll hear two words get thrown around a lot here: monitoring and surveillance. And they might sound kind of the same, but they have really different jobs. Monitoring is more like a scheduled checkup. You're taking routine measurements, checking air quality, seeing how a program is doing, just to make sure things are on track. But surveillance, that's a whole different beast. That's a constant 24/7 watch. It's systematic, it never stops, and its whole purpose is to spot trouble and trigger an immediate response.
Yeah, the key takeaway here is that surveillance is a proactive intelligence operation. It's not just passively collecting data. It is actively pulling information from all these different channels. We're talking lab reports, outbreak notifications from hospitals, even tracking things like mosquito populations. And it's piecing it all together to build one single real-time picture of what a disease is doing. And that picture is what guides the entire response.
All right, so you've got your goals set. Control, elimination, or eradication. Your intelligence is flowing in from the watchtower. What's next? Well, now you need a defense. And that brings us to the next chapter in the playbook, the shield. This is a really powerful, multi-layered system of prevention that's designed to protect all of us.
Now, it's tempting to look at this and think of it as a timeline, like steps that happen one after the other. But a better way to picture it is as 4 distinct layers of protection, all working at the same time. They range from these really broad foundational actions all the way down to very specific treatments, and they all work together to keep people safe.
So that first, most fundamental layer is called primordial prevention. This is all about getting ahead of the problem before it's even a problem. It's about going after the root causes, trying to stop risk factors, things like poor diet or smoking, from ever even developing. And a lot of that work focuses on things like health education for kids and teenagers.
Okay, next up we have primary prevention. This is our proactive defense against a specific threat. These are the things we do before a disease has a chance to take hold. And honestly, this layer includes some of the absolute greatest hits of public health. We're talking widespread immunizations, making sure people have clean water and sanitation, and promoting basic good hygiene. Game changers, all of them.
And within this primary prevention layer, public health officials have two main tactics. On one hand, you've got the population, or mass strategy. Think of this like a shotgun. You're trying to shift the risk for everybody just a little bit. A big public campaign for healthier school lunches is a perfect example. On the other hand, you have the high-risk strategy. This is more like a sniper rifle. It's about targeting powerful interventions just at the individuals who are most at risk, like a doctor prescribing specific cholesterol medication.
Moving on to our third layer of the shield, secondary prevention. Now, this layer kicks in when a disease might have already started, but we don't know it yet. Maybe there are no symptoms. The whole goal here is early detection. We want to find it and stop it in its tracks before it can cause real harm. So think of things like routine cancer screenings or contact tracing for infections, all designed to find and treat cases early. And that brings us to the final layer, tertiary prevention. This is for when a disease has already taken hold and advanced. At this point, the focus isn't on stopping the disease itself anymore. It shifts to managing its long-term impact. We're talking about things like physical rehabilitation, long-term care, and all the support systems that are designed to limit disability and help a person have the best possible quality of life.
So, we have our goal, our intelligence, our defenses, but is any of it working? Look, no playbook is worth anything if you don't have a way to keep score. You have to know if your strategies are making a difference. And that brings us to our final and absolutely crucial component, evaluation.
Yep, evaluation is basically the scoreboard. It's a systematic way of asking, did we actually do what we said we were going to do? It measures everything. Are fewer people getting sick? Are people in the community happy with the program? This is what allows us to learn, to adapt, and to make the playbook even better for the future. I mean, without it, you're pretty much just flying blind.
And that's really the key thing to remember. This playbook, it's not some dusty old book sitting on a shelf. It's a living document. It's constantly being updated and rewritten to face brand new challenges, whether that's the threat of the next pandemic or the health effects of climate change. So that leaves all of us with a really important question to think about. As our world keeps changing, how does this playbook need to evolve to keep all of us safe?